the general news cycle has been about All-Star Weekend, has been more importantly, I feel like, than just the All-Star Weekend, because the All-Star game was ass. It's the shirts. Pay us what you owe us. And the statement made by the All-Stars and the WNBPA about paying and obviously the CBA negotiations. If you didn't see our video when we were there on the court and All-Star boots on the ground in Indianapolis, the biggest, the clearly biggest takeaway for me and Shawnee, and we talked about it on there, is the difference in the tones that either side has right now. And the players feel very dissatisfied with the way the talks are going. And Kathy Engelbert was like, yeah, it's constructive. It's good. It's good talks. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, if you say so. If you say so, Kathy. I'm interested for you guys as we continue on into these. Obviously, the October deadline doesn't really seem to be like we have to get this done by October. Like, and like there's like a large sense of urgency to get that done by then. And like Kathy didn't make it seem like that when asked about it, because she had referenced the fact that the last CBA negotiations went into January of that kind of calendar, and there doesn't seem to be the urgency there to make that happen. So I guess I'm interested for you guys, and we can kind of just take this however, but in terms of the message sent and the, I guess, progress made from a player perspective of like what was done on All-Star Weekend, where do you feel like this kind of lies, and what did those shirts like fully kind of accomplish in your eyes for the players and their argument as we head into the kind of the deep end of these CBA negotiations?
I'll start. I was at home, so I wasn't with you guys in Indiana. So I was getting everything, as it was released or whatever. I thought Gabby Williams' comments about the other leagues and how the WNBA clearly doesn't want other leagues to exist, basically, were really interesting, especially in light of Unrivaled signing all of those college athletes to NIL deals. And just like what seems to be like shoring up their relationship with the next generation of their labor market, right? So I thought that was super interesting. I thought the shirts, I loved the shirts. I think what they aim to do is provide more context for fans and other interested parties, right? There's been a lot of numbers and figures thrown out about how things are currently structured and the lack of transparency from WNBA ownership when it comes to players and what's on the table for them in this next agreement. So I think that they accomplished their goal, right? That was on social yesterday. That was the talk, you know what I'm saying? In terms of spreading awareness or raising awareness. You even saw some men who have historically been incredibly misogynistic when it comes to women's sports, looking at you, Dave Portnoy or Ryan Russillo, right? Saying come on now, this is just common sense that they would want to renegotiate. You've seen teams, in this league now get purchased for $50 million or whatever it was with the Valkyrie. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, it was 50 for Golden State, and I think up to 250 for the newest round, the next three that came.
And then you see the TV deal, 4X or whatever it ends up, whatever the multiple ends up being.
Just insane growth across the board. Yeah.
And so why wouldn't the labor in said dispute also want an increase? I am curious, and maybe, there's still just a level of transparency that I'm looking for, but we're different. You know what I mean? We sit in a weird position, but I do think it's, if we say women make 77 cents for every dollar that a man, all of this shit is tied, you know what I mean? It all matters. And these are the most some of the most famous women, some of the most women with the biggest platforms, right? Then you get your Caitlin Clarks, your Paiges, your Angel Reese's, right? Who, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman from 18, 19, 20 years old. You know what I mean? It's you're dealing with people who aren't desperate when they're at the bargaining table. That changes a whole lot of things. Then obviously, like I said, with the NIL and the Unrivaled thing, the players have really made sure to empower themselves, and I love to see that, and I want to like a continued push for more transparency. I watch both leagues, and for the life of me, I don't understand why. Like, I get that they made incremental change or like even monumental change in the last CBA, but like it shouldn't take as long in the WNBA to get what guys got in the NBA, because if it's like essentially the same business, like that's like, we know how to do things more efficiently now. We know how to do things smarter now. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't take 40 years of them existing before they're given their fair share.
Amen.
Yeah. No, I just think one of the things that was mentioned was fan support, because I ain't gonna hold you. When I was going down the elevator, I'm leaving the media part to go down the elevator. I heard the chants. I thought they were saying Asia, and I was just like, Cox always up. Like, know us, see us, you know you want to be us. And then I started seeing they was like, no, they said pay them. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
That works too.
Good
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they were talking in the presser about like how important fan support is. And it's just like Greer said, like the worst person you know who you wish would go to hell actually made a great point and explained like what the issue is. And that's big, because now if you have all of these popular men who have been they've jumped in on the recent wave, this is the time to kind of like show you really about it, show you're down for the cause. And for them to have significant audiences and to be on, eat this one little thing. And this is not just him, but it's also just like, Bomani's got to do better, but like people of those caliber who chime in and have the platform, those type of people being able to explain to their audiences what's going on, because like there's still this general misogynistic misconception that they want NBA money, which is stupid. And then everybody turns into an economist and a financial advisor when it comes to this topic, which is stupid, because like y'all don't do math that well. We know you don't. You can't read that good. We know you don't. We see your tweets. So it's like, for you to now try and tell the league how it needs to run, that's our job here at No Cap Space, because we actually can read and know what the league needs and know that they should listen to us, not you random Twitter user. But no, seriously, people kind of jump in and have these, like, when you have a labor dispute and you're going on strike, you need public support. Because if you need somebody to boycott stuff, if you need people to support, if we got to watch Unrivaled to put the pressure on the W, because I don't think Unrivaled is a long-term solution by any means, but it definitely is like, we ain't hurting. We could go do this. So the people that was going to go overseas was going to go overseas anyway, because there's only so much room in Unrivaled. But now if we have the general population coming to Unrivaled and we can get more funding and we can, expand that out, bargaining chip, in my opinion, still. Yeah. So it's like getting public support is huge. It's just a matter of them staying one band, one sound. And you got to have that throughout. And agree with the transparency. Like, I love when we got to interview NECA in the hallway, she explained, what they're actually looking for when it comes to the revenue split and how they want it to go. And, she said, like, Kathy's using a completely different equation when she's figuring it out, and the owners are than they are. So when she's like saying her, this number's great, this is productive, Kathy's like, yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. I presented, the lesser option for the labor, and the labor is like, nah, we got to fight. So I'm just kind of like, within capitalism, this is the fight we have. And listen,
always,
if we're getting closer, we're seizing the means of
the
production.
rant is on the way.
Hey, bro.
The stud buds are gonna save this country.
Socialist stud buds, let's get it.
Come on now. Yeah, I think for me and Shawnee, it's kind of in a familiar point to yours, but like seeing on social media, I felt like, if nothing else, this weekend provided clarity for what the WNBA players are asking, to a point of, and this was just really just on my timeline and kind of limited I had seen, but I felt like I had seen more people get called stupid for being like they shouldn't get paid than ever before. Like, and that was so refreshing to see, because it wasn't like a kind of the coded misogyny of like, oh, they just want, like, it was like a genuine direct, you're an idiot. And like, or it's like, okay, then why don't you want them to get paid?
Yeah, what's up
quickly.
Is it the racism or the sexism, big dog? Or both. Or both. You know, like it the misogyny, that's there. Like, come on now. So like that was the most refreshing thing to me, was like it felt like the general consensus opinion was not only on the side of the players here, but also a genuine understanding of the players are asking for the revenue percentage, not NBA money. And I feel like that's the first time I've seen the general public opinion have that understanding and clarity of this is what they mean by pay us what you owe us, not, SGA contract, like it's the percentage. And that was super refreshing and exciting to see, just from a general social media perspective of what I had caught on the timeline.
Yeah. And
also it's kind of like,
I feel like players have held up their end of the bargain to me.
Yeah.
Like on the whole, like excluding Alyssa Thomas and whatever antisocial behavior we had going on this weekend, but like players have held up their end of the bargain, right? When I've been to previous All-Stars in the last 5 years, let's say, even from what I saw from Indianapolis this year, like they're accessible, they're with the fans, they're showing up to the appearances, they're giving themselves to the community, right? Like all of the things that you want from star athletes, like they're doing it, right? Even creating a lane for their own content, right? And like obviously was the most successful thing from the weekend. It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? So like, you just want the WNBA and the powers that be to be coming to the table in good faith, because from my POV, the players have held up their end of the bargain. Last year's finals, outstanding, right? Like goes the full length. Rookie class in the last 2 years coming in, absolutely hitting the ground running in this league, right? Like ticket sales, obviously, attendance, viewership, all of the things are up. All of the things within the players' control is up. And like that's,
I feel like they're doing they're doing a good job of advertising that, because I think that's the biggest thing. Like they took a grand opportunity to strike, because before, like, we've been having this revenue share conversation for the last couple years, but it's like we've been having it on Twitter. So you have to like rely now on people going through the quote tweets to see, the different answers to different questions. Whereas it was like a grand stage in front of a national audience, one of the size that we've never had before. You're able to convey this message. Now, I had said, I know on the post-game wrap-up video that I would have liked to see them wear it on the ESPN broadcast instead of like putting their warm-ups back on, but like that's a innocuous kind of like, it is what it is. Like that's not super important. They got the message out there. They're giving the points. And I feel like they're going to now get what they need, because this isn't the only point on the CBA, right? Like there's some other things they've been complaining about and, want changed, that they're going to have to go on the table and be able to fight for also as well. And what we've seen in the past is like the players come on Twitter and start telling us stuff, and I'm just like, sister, what you want me to do? I'm but a tweeter. Like you got to get in the room and negotiate. I want to help you. I'm sorry. I'm not there. But like this, it's like we're able to get the message out. We're able to get the people behind us. We're able to rally. And then on top of that, it's like, if you get on Twitter and y'all ain't get everything you want, stop tweeting me. So I think like like you said, they've upheld their end of the bargain. Everybody's respective fan bases are on board. Everybody's respective stands are on board. Once K-pop enters the chat, like we really might get something shaken.
Hey, Pop Base is already tweeting out the WNBA now and everything. So we're coming. We're coming. We're coming. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think obviously you look ahead to what the next steps might be. I think very clearly, and the players said this as well, that like All-Star provides a very unique opportunity to have everyone there in the same place at the same time, not during the rigorous schedule of the WNBA. So like that provides a very unique opportunity in order to do things like this. And this isn't the first time that we've seen different efforts displayed, whether it be like wearing the BG jerseys in the past or things like that. Like these things happen at All-Star. What happens next is what's going to become very interesting to me, because this is the thing they even talked about. Like the meeting happened like that morning, I think is what they said about wearing the shirts. So it's like, this wasn't a pre-planned long-term thing. Like, and it, you know, it worked out great, but like, how do you now, like it felt like, it feels like there might need to just be, generally speaking, a planning done to figure out what comes next. And
I mean, they definitely got to win they need to win in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Right now they are winning.
Yeah. They're up on the scoreboard 100%.
And that comes with one band, one sound. Now more than ever, they've got to get on that Zoom, even if it's like, all right, everybody go in one locker room, 2 teams per locker room, everybody get on a Zoom or something. Because one thing that's kind of now making more waves in the headlines than it should be is that Kelsey Plum comment when she was like, yeah, Team Clark wasn't at the meetings or whatever. And it's like, she was joking. She said she was joking. Like, yeah, when she saw like how it was received and Sabrina was like, girl, what? Like she was like, sorry,
it didn't come off great. Yeah, it didn't come off great.
She was like, I'm trying to make
Kelsey Plum joke that
didn't come off great. Yeah, like, look, she's funny as hell, but sometimes we got to work on our delivery a little bit, you know? Like,
yeah, but it's like, you know, she said I was trying to make light of a, you know, serious situation, and then she like got back after it.
Yeah,
you gotta eliminate those type of moments. You gotta eliminate people going rogue. You gotta make sure that like, if you have any Republicans in your ranks, that you reel them in and make sure. Hey, amen. So it's just making sure that anybody that gets in front of that microphone, like that's why I think the player reps, they're going to be essential to this. Because even if you can only get a Zoom with 13 of y'all, this is what you need to communicate to your team. This is the message of the week. This is the message of the day. This is what we're doing right now. Everybody needs to be lockstep from here on out. Because like once you start having like a little crack in the armor, stuff starts going awry. But
could you imagine the person who printed those shirts, like the rush they must have had? Gotta get these right. You
got like that limited amount of time. Like,
well, to be fair, it was only like 13 people, so it's like
only 13 shirts.
I'll give him that. Yeah, it wasn't the full 144. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see like if like just how often we see those shirts come up now. I saw that they're officially for sale. Like the Players Association or like pay them what they are owed or something, you know, whatever the shirt is. And...
because I was about to say, yo, that's the
first
thing.
Hey,
if somebody done sold their shirt already, we are in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, they're up now on the scoreboard, but this is a long ways to go. And like, I mean, this was obviously, it doesn't feel like much negotiating has actually been done yet, frankly. It's just in terms of like the tone of everything. So I will be interested to see in how that goes over the course of this season and what the comments are made.